Yerp. What up, though? Let's get these numbers up real quick. I got 20 minutes today, so I'm not taking no more than 20 minutes. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's the word? What's the word? Good morning. I got 20 minutes, so I'm gonna give it about 2 or 3 minutes to let a couple people get in here just in case folks got questions. Then I'm out of here. I got some other shit I gotta handle. I just want to be consistent with making sure I'm staying up to date on these days, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I'm gonna accommodate y'all. Give it a couple more minutes. Make sure people tap in real quick. I only got 17 minutes. I ain't gonna take up too much time. It ain't really much to speak on, but I want to get to it. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. All right, so we'll give it like 2 more minutes. Anybody got any stock advice they want to throw in the chat? Just let it be known. I don't want to just make it seem like I'm some guru that's giving all the information. I get a lot of my information from y'all, just like y'all get it from me. So make sure if y'all got some tips, y'all want to throw it in chat, something that can help somebody, do that. All right. We'll give it another minute or so. One more minute. I got some shit to do in 15 minutes, so I ain't gonna overdo this one. Felt like yesterday wasn't overdone. I felt like I spent a lot of time answering questions, but yesterday I didn't have shit to do. Today I do. So like I said, I want to make sure I'm consistent with y'all, but I also want to make sure that since I ain't getting shit from it, that you know that I'm being mindful of my time. For the people who do want to contribute to the stream, $ building back. I don't know if this shit is, we're gonna deal with the graphics later. Being that I brought Derez to URL, you would think that I would have something way more sophisticated, but shout out to Derez. He doing his thing, man. I don't want to press him on no shit like this. So if you guys want to donate to the cause, $ building back, just as a reminder, all the proceeds from anything that's donated through this will go directly towards the Christmas drive that we're doing. We'll have the families that we're going to announce next week. So you can really have an idea of who really needs these donations, and all your contributions are greatly appreciated. So once again, $ building back. Appreciate the support. You can check out the website bbtcfoundation.com. We are a legit 501c3. So all right, we got 15 minutes. I don't want to take up too much of y'all time. I do want to thank y'all for joining the stream once again. Just as a reminder, we're going to be doing this on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Didn't want to get into nothing too deep. I told y'all I was going to tap in with this whole DoorDash situation. For those who haven't been brought up to speed, overnight, DoorDash decided they wanted to up their price even more than what it was originally supposed to be. The original price when they first submitted was $70 to $75. 2 days ago, it was $90 to $95. Right now, the estimated IPO price is $102. I don't know what the fuck these niggas is doing. Really, all they doing is cutting into our profit. But I did see something today say that these niggas is actually trying to push for this to go even higher to $130 a share, which to me is nuts. Like I think that's crazy. I think it's almost a setup for a failure for these guys. But it hasn't become available for the market just yet. If you've looked up DoorDash at this point in time, you'll see the estimated IPO rate, but you won't see the ability to buy. You just have the ability to like put a bid in. And I don't fuck with shit like that because it could just mess your money up. So just keep your eye open. It says according to Wall Street that it will be available for purchase sometime this week. I mean this day, midday. But I'm just gonna tell y'all, being how they keep trying to push this number up, the stock is still gonna go up, but just make sure you see it go up a little bit before you consider this. I do think that the stock is going to still go up, but it sucks, man, because I was hyped when the shit was at $70 because I was looking at that 100 to be my profit off rip. Now that they raised the profit, I mean, the estimated IPO price, the profit might not be as big. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't get on it. I would just say pay attention to it. Once it drops, see what direction it goes. I think there's still a lot of excitement for people who want to get into DoorDash just because of the climate that we in right now. So just make sure that you guys, keep an eye out for that. The other thing I wanted to get into, because we had spoke briefly about ETFs, and for the people who was listening to this stream yesterday, y'all let me go that whole day by calling this shit EFTs this whole time. And a lot of y'all niggas knew I was saying ETFs, man. This comment tool is for y'all to correct me if I'm saying some bullshit. ETFs, exchange traded funds. I know a lot of people are looking at these pharmaceutical stocks. That's my stock tip of the day. A lot of people are looking into these pharmaceutical stocks, and if you're like me, you don't know shit about any of these companies. AstraZeneca, Pfizer, all these companies, you don't really know about these motherfuckers. You just know what they tell you on the news. So it can be kind of confusing to invest into a single stock, because quite honestly, if that stock that you choose doesn't produce the actual vaccine, then it could be a L. Kodak is a perfect example of that. A lot of people got hyped because Kodak decided that they wanted to get into the business of creating pharmaceuticals, and that's not what they equipped for. So even though the stock went up, it shot down really, really fast. So this is a situation where ETFs, exchange traded funds, come into play. Rather than investing into just one pharmaceutical stock, because quite honestly we don't know which one is going to actually break ground and help people. Instead of just investing in one, which is almost kind of like a gamble, invest into the ETF for pharmaceuticals. This is a perfect example of why you would invest into an ETF, because if you're not certain about a specific stock but you know the industry is going to pop, then you want to invest into the industry. And at the end of the day, the pharmaceutical industry are the people who are going to end this corona shit. Like, however you look at it, they're the ones who are going to end everything. Yes, Johnson and Johnson, that's another one. But it's important to make sure that you invest in the whole thing, because these guys are all pushing. Like, you see things like Pfizer are already giving tests out, AstraZeneca are like 93-94% to the trials. They're competing with each other to get it done first, because at the end of the day, they selling dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, they selling crack cocaine. So it's important to make sure that that they trying to get the testers out first. And if you know anything about the game, you know that the first one out with testers and its quality is the ones that's going to get the repeat business. So at the end of the day, don't invest into a stock just because Pfizer says, all right, they booming right now. They may not be the person who gives out the final word on this shit. Even though that is a good stock to look into. But if you are not versed, if you don't know about these pharmaceutical companies, if you know about them, do what the fuck you're supposed to do. But if you don't know about the pharmaceutical industry, but you're like me and you understand the fact that pharmaceuticals is what's going to get us out of this corona situation with their vaccine, it is a good industry to get into. So there's a couple different ETFs that I wanted to share with you guys that you can do your research on. The top one that I want you guys to look up is iShares US Pharmaceuticals ETF. The symbol for that is IHE. IHE. They've had the biggest growth over the last throughout this year. I think they went up maybe like $11. So if you're looking at a pharmaceutical ETF, that would be the one that has shown the most growth over the course of 2020. So, do your research. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm telling you to do your research. It is an opportunity where you could, put your money into not just one stock, but a bunch of stocks. Once again, it's not going to pay as much as if you just invest into just Pfizer or just Johnson and Johnson or just AstraZeneca. But at the end of the day, you know, having a progress is better than anything. And when it comes to this stock shit, this shit, you don't want to gamble with this shit, because if you don't got the system to really do the tracking, you're gonna play yourself. So it makes more sense to get a profit as opposed to putting everything into something that you don't really know about. We know that pharmaceutical industry is gonna pop, but we just don't know which one of those specific companies are gonna break through. Um, yeah, no doubt, hero. Shout out to my man. No, good intentions. Um, One other thing I wanted to tap in with y'all about. This is another stock tip of the day that I wanted to briefly tap into. I want y'all to look into AT&T. AT&T. Now, the reason why I want you guys to look into AT&T, it has nothing to really do with AT&T. I don't know if you guys actually seen the news about Warner. Um, all the Warner movies, Warner Brother movies, all those movies going into the next year are going to be putting all their movies not just in the theater, but also on HBO Max at the same time. Now, what does this have to do with AT&T? Well, AT&T owns Warner. A lot of people don't know that. So whatever Warner does is going to benefit AT&T. So make sure that you guys just keep an eye on it. Depending on how long this whole COVID thing lasts, I know Joe Biden is saying he's trying to get this shit knocked out within 100 days. I feel like that's still just political talk. I think this is something that probably is going to last at least another 8 to 9 months, if we're being honest, at least 6 or 7 months, because not everybody's going to just first get access to vaccinations. And if you like me, you're not like jumping through hoops to even get a vaccine. So because of that, the process of eliminating this shit is going to still be kind of drawn out, which means that people are still going to be playing it from the crib in terms of, watching shit from home. Movie theaters are dead. And, like MGM or whatever the fuck that one theater is that's everywhere. A lot of these theaters is closing down. You know what I'm saying? So people are at home, people are streaming, and the fact that Warner Brothers is taking that leap to drop new releases that should be in theaters on HBO Max, it could be a great opportunity for that stock to really soar. So I ain't telling y'all what to do. Just do your research on it. A lot of people don't know that AT&T owns Warner Media, but at the end of the day, what Warner does affect AT&T. So if they drop a couple hits and them shits is going on HBO Max, that stock is going to shoot up. It's going to shoot up for real. So do your research on that. Lastly, before I get off this, it was somebody on here, I forgot his name, but he was kind of pushing the narrative that you should just sell everything right now because there's lockdowns happening in certain states. I want to make sure we clear on that. I don't necessarily agree with the fact that you should sell everything. You should only sell things that have maxed out on their potential. The reason why I say that is even though there's lockdowns in areas like the Bay and certain parts of LA, it's not a real lockdown. It's not a lockdown like how it was before. You know what I'm saying? Like these businesses aren't completely shutting down. People are still out and about. We'll never be at the point to where it was in March. Like we'll never get to that point again. People just won't let that shit happen. There's too many businesses that's on the line that's right there on the cusp of breaking down. There's too many, people who are just anti-establishment that's going to allow them to be stuck in a crib. So the stocks that were low in March will not be that low ever again. Like not anytime soon. Like it's just not going to happen. So, I don't want you to be so quick to sell because to be honest with you, the people who sold quick back in 2008, 2009 when that market crashed, those was the people who lost money. I just want to make sure we clear on that. Those were the people who lost money. There was a really big handful of people who waited it out, stuck it through, and they ended up making more money than they ever imagined. So, I don't want you to sell stocks based off of fear, because if you sell them based off fear, you shouldn't even be in this shit. Do it based off knowledge. Do the research. Look at the company. Every single one of these stocks that have an IPO, you can go to their website and see what they're making, like what they made last year, what they made this year. That's going to tell you if the stock is worth keeping or not. And that's really all it comes down to. Do your research. Don't just move based off of fear. That's pretty much it. All right, so that's pretty much it, man. Like I told you, I got shit to do today. I got a ton of different business calls I got to make. I just wanted to make sure I tap in, as you can say, wifey and the baby up there, wifey and baby. But yeah, so salute to y'all. Once again, if you guys want to support the movement, building back, $ building back, 100% of the proceeds going towards the babies. So holla at y'all. Have a good day. I'll see y'all tomorrow.